Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I believe all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kadash, the blooders to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, 144,000 and the one-third men, women, and children in order. This is Shemaria Allah with the Great Millstone chapter out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And, man, you know, hey, as we continue to drop these daily breads, this daily bread for the elect sake, you know, hey, social media never fails to give you topics and things to touch on and go over. But I came across this post today, and it's, you know, reading it, the person who posted it, you know, she doesn't have a clue what's going on. At the same time, what it was about is just totally off as well. So it's a whole ball of confusion. You know, and so again, and I don't know, you know, she looked like an Edomite to me. She couldn't, she might not be, but as far as what the post is talking about, let's go to the post first. This is the post that was placed on Facebook, and it says, white slaves were sold for centuries. All our ancestors took slaves, sold slaves, and were slaves. You're not special. Black people owned and sold slaves. Asian people, Native people, and Middle Eastern people owned and sold slaves. Everyone's ancestors participated in slavery. It wasn't exclusive to white people. Stop trying to make people feel guilty for things they didn't do. Now, you know, which is another topic for another time, you know, we do believe in reincarnation. We believe that the same spirit of your ancestors are the same ones today. But this is the thing. This is true. Everyone's had slaves. But the treatment of the slave was different in Israel. You know, we had guidelines, you know, of how to treat a slave, and, you know, how long a slave would be a slave. And another word for slave is servant, you know. So how long a servant would be a servant amongst you, you know, how and the guidelines and when they're able to leave, you know. But before I get that, you know, I just want to touch on the fact that, hey, man, this social construct of being black, you know, we are different shades of brown, you know. Elder Remarkable always do a great job of bringing that out. I just wanted to reiterate that. So whoever in there, this woman, Christina K, she posted, she said, so I just went to a white privileged racist person's page, and this is what they had on their page: Trump supporters, and they are nonsense. Black people never owned slaves. Stop with your lies. So that right there is another lie in itself. So she shows that she doesn't have any understanding or knowledge of what's really going on. Neither does, you know, the woman who made the Trump supporter who made the post. You know, yeah, so-called black people did have slaves, you know, but in Israel, you know, there was guidelines into what you do with your slave or your servant, and how you treat them, and how long they are, you know, they were given a time period of how long they wanted to be your servant. And, you know, and some servants stayed with their masters, you know, because of the treatment that they got from their masters. You know, it wasn't this cynical way of slavery that you see today. And let me grab some scriptures before I get to going. So, Esau, Edom in itself, that whole post is bugged out from front to end. Even the girl who posted, she don't even understand what she's talking about. But I want to grab something real quick before I grab how we're supposed to deal with our slave or servant. This is Zechariah 11, verse 5, and it reads, it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they say, and they that sell them say, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So Esau Edom has been atrocious to Jake throughout history. You know, in our short stay here in America, they have been nothing but demonic and devilish to us on all levels. You know, again, treatment of slaves, there was guidelines to that. You know, you didn't do to them what Esau did to us during our time of slavery and our time here in America, aka Babylon. You know, and all Esau, and so that woman who made that comment, you know, that woman who posted this, made this post, you know, they're just trying to find ways to get out of the judgment that is coming to them, you know, or that, you know, as we continue to expose this devil, you know, they're getting butthurt behind, you know, their dark secrets, you know, their skirts being lifted, and they can't take it. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is Nahum 3:5 says, "Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame." So their lack of understanding, their evil ways, the things that they've done over the years, you know, the Lord's going to show them, you know, how deranged and demonic, you know, these Edomites are, you know, and all the atrocities that they've done over these years, you know. And so with that being said, you know, this woman who made this post, or Salakia, the person who made this post, you know, they're just upset behind all the atrocities that's being brought out, their skirts being lifted. So you see their shame, you know, you see their nakedness, you see where they're wrong, you see all the heinous crimes and acts they've done to us, you know, to the nation of Israel. And so they want to avoid the judgment that's coming. They can't take, you know, putting their dirt in their face, you know. Okay, so let me grab this in Exodus, dealing with a servant. So this is Exodus 21:2, and it reads, it says, "If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing." You know, we had guidelines, man. You know, Esau Edom has held on to us as long as they've been allowed to. You know, they didn't go by these guidelines. You know, they added to our affliction with horrible conditions and treatment. You know, Salakia. It says, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, "I love my master, my wife, and my children," I will not go out free. And that goes back to what I was saying, like a servant being, you know, okay with staying with his master. You know, servant, slave, you know, same difference. But this is the thing, you know, and the point had been made before. We had guidelines. We had rules to how we treated our servants. We didn't treat them the way Esau Edom treated Jake in America, or the Arabs, you know, the Arab nations, or Ishmael, you know, and how Ishmael treated slaves, you know, or other heathen nations. We didn't treat slaves how they treated slaves. You know, we had guidelines of how we dealt with our servants. And so, with that being said, I just wanted to point that out, you know, as you get to continue to see prophecies coming to pass and this devil's being exposed, you know, you're going to have Edomites who can't take it, who don't want to hear the atrocities that their forefathers have committed, which, hey, could damn near well be them in reincarnation here on Earth today, but that's another topic for another time. But again, I hope this is edifying. On to the next one, as the elders say, Elder Apostle Tahar the Gabar says. Until next time, Shalom. And I'm going to end with saying, call halal Yabashim Awashai. The belongs to the apostles, the elders, a great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, 144,000 and 1/3 men, women, and children in their order. Again, Shalom. On to the next one.